If I go to play a game and it turns out that there's no main character and you have to attach to a group, all that tells me is this was going to be a like.
New York City Craigslist has to be. They got a sandblasting cabinet. Damn, where's Jeff at?
Less caffeinated, but more natural energy. Blah 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 blah. What the fuck ever. I have not partaken yet, although I probably should at some point because it is a. Might as well hop on the coworker crazy train. You know what I'm saying? It ticked over to 1 o'clock exactly as we were clapping, so I feel like that's a sign.
Impressive.
That's a sign the podcast is going to be a good time today. I'm ready.
I mean, it would be a good time, but I'm just going to get ahead of this because I know you're about to punch me in the gut with it in a moment. SpongeBob is a furry, yes or no? Welcome back to Off the Air, where we talk about furries again.
I'll be honest. You know what my genuine, honest to God plan was? My genuine, honest to God plan was just let it sit the entire episode and let you stew on it and wait until it broke you that I hadn't brought it up yet.
No,
and you know what? It literally took zero time. I am so pleased.
I just wanted to talk about Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson, the banana pancakes guy.
Yeah, you guys are like giving me shit like he's some kind of like obscure thing. Like, oh, Jack Johnson. We don't know. Like, you guys don't know who Jack Johnson is.
No.
I remember you mentioning Jack Johnson banana pancakes before. I remember looking it up, having no knowledge of it, and you were talking about it and thinking, oh yeah, this is pretty catchy. And I have never remembered him until literally just now.
Literally 9.5 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
And
Banana Pancakes, the song, has 351 million listens. I'm just saying, it's not like it's some obscure thing. It's like, haha, this guy knows who Jack Johnson is. It's a common thing. Upside Down from the Curious George movie.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's definitely not a.
Yeah.
That's not a pull I would have got. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's a banger.
Curious George movie. I gotta be honest. I forgot that existed.
One. Yep, same. Was it any good? I feel like it couldn't have been, right?
I mean, it could have been.
But
I don't
know. Jackson, was the Curious George movie any good?
You know what? I watched it when I was like 10, and I think it was all right when I was 10.
You know what? I'll take it. Children's movie, all right for children.
Mm-hmm.
You got.
It's got a 6.5 on IMDb, which I got to be honest, probably means it was absolutely fine. And people are like, this movie is for children.
Better than most, better than most horror movies Noah watches, so it can't be that bad,
right? It came out
right?
in 2006. So it was 2006, and I was in fact around 10 when I saw it.
I'm trying to find a review that's low because so far I've seen 2 7s and everything else has been way higher.
Will Ferrell is the main.
Oh, good lord!
Voice.
What do you have against Will Ferrell?
Eugene Levy is there.
You know, I feel like Eugene Levy isn't a name that I knew until very recently. Even though I know consciously he's been around and doing like fucking movies and shit literally goddamn forever.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's been around forever.
But
I mean, he's probably a regular sized guy, but like, he's big.
I can't think of what he's done recently that I would recognize immediately besides obviously Schitt's Creek. And I feel bad because I know, like I said, I know he's been doing shit like literally 40 years, 50 years worth of fucking career at this point. But
Frank Welker did the voice of George the monkey who doesn't speak. He just makes monkey noises.
Good for him.
I'm glad you know what, bold choice not to let the monkey speak.
He is the top build cast I'm seeing here. At least he's on the top of the list, which usually means top build, but not always.
It's a pretty safe bet usually.
I like this one review from 2006 that just says critics just don't get it, and it makes me think that this movie was critically panned.
I mean, of course it was. It was children's movies are generally, there are obvious exceptions, but generally not well received critically, right? Like, because it's a movie for children, and children have a lot lower standard of like what a air quotes good movie is than like critics generally.
Precisely. I mean, some children's movies are absolute slappers, i.e. Paddington,
Paddington 2. Exactly.
Both fantastic films. That's right. I call them films, not movies.
Damn, I can't believe that he calls them films, dude.
I would go as far as to say cinematic experience. Yeah,
that's a bold choice of yours. I'm not gonna lie. I'm proud of you for it. I'm glad that you're finally taking a stand.
I'm sorry, but do you think there's a Paddington porn parody?
You know there is. Why would you even put that in the world?
What do you think they call it? What do you think? What do you think the Paddington porn parody is called?
Paddington.
Peggington.
Oh, there you go. There it is. Peggington.
Oh, because Paddington's a bear, so it would be a gay porn.
That's true.
That's true.
Honestly,
yeah, you know.
there's nothing funnier in my mind than Paddington the bear, cute little dude, getting replaced by this like massive, hairy, ripped dude.
That would be pretty funny. Yeah.
That'd be very good. But also, I do hate the words Paddington porn parody.
Yeah, no, I do too.
I don't like it, and I don't like that it's in the world now, and we are the reason.
Well, no, it's probably in the world because
The internet is terrible.
somebody makes a living just directing and coming up with ideas for porn parodies of film. So they probably saw Paddington 2 and were like, you know what?
Honestly,
we could make this work somehow.
I'm always impressed at the names that they come up with for porn parodies, though, because there's some really wild ones out there that just
Like what?
I can't think of. I've literally been trying to think of the SpongeBob one that I had like come across my Twitter timeline at one
Boner.
point. Oh,
It's
that
like
was
Sponge
it.
Boner or something.
And
Yeah, Sponge Boner Dick Pants. I don't remember. I know which one you're talking about because I've been on the internet way too goddamn long.
do you know about
what's the SpongeBob
Edward
thing?
Penis Fingers?
I do, actually.
But it's just one penis on each hand.
Was it like a budgetary thing or?
Or no, wait, no, his fingers are. It's like it's not scissors. It's not like the same way the scissors are like each thing. It's Edward Penis hand or hands, and it's just one big dick on each hand. And it's like, what the hell?
Yeah, probably because of budgetary restrictions. They didn't have access to.
Oh,
Like,
I'm sorry that they couldn't tape 5 dildos to each hand.
I'm not actually. I think that would be very difficult logistically as well to actually,
so anyway,
make
what's
it
the
think it
SpongeBob furry
matters.
thing? Yeah, I don't
Oh.
want to talk about the logistics of this anymore. Talk about the SpongeBob furry thing.
Oh, I put a tweet out earlier this week that said that that the whole bit was I'm going to go start a fight, walk into a room and scream SpongeBob is a furry, and let everyone be angry about it.
With the justification being he's an anthropomorphized animal, technically. Honestly, he's more of an
literally the
anthro-plant.
joke. That's not even like you. That's more than the like. That's more reading into the joke than I was willing to do. Literally, to me, the entire joke is just, haha, it's
I know.
funny because
I saw that thing a week
cause
ago or
fight.
so, and I've been getting ready for you to bring this in since then because I
you
know
were the one that
someone
brought
was
it
going
up.
to. I know
You were the
but
one that
you-
brought it up.
You retweeted it with. I didn't see that it was 4 days ago, so that was my bad. That was the first time I saw it today. But when I first saw it, my first thought was Dan is going to make me have to talk about this. And I
want
need to be
the
ready for
internet
it.
to know, as well as everyone in this fucking call, to know that Noah is the reason that this happened, and he continues to blame me as though it is my fault.
We know is the reason for what now?
This conversation existing. Because
okay.
sure, he wasn't going to bring it up. He was just going to let me stew on it. Okay,
I
fine.
was genuinely going to do that. I thought that,
However,
Noah's just not going to want to engage with this. I should not bring it up.
The
I'll let him
threat
stew
had
on
been
it.
levied before we started recording 4 days ago when he shared the thing about it.
I didn't even say that. I
So-
just said that it's the kind of energy I strive to bring. I didn't even say that I will say this. I just said
Still a
that that's
threat.
the energy I wanna bring.
Still a threat. Still a threat. So I
Fine.
I had been prepping my
Noah
thoughts
had
on the matter.
his Noah had his fucking he's built out a peer-reviewed document answering the question that no one was gonna ask. SpongeBob, furry, yes or no? I mean, I feel like no. I feel like it's a safe no, right? Because
I feel like I say sure.
I mean,
Sponges
okay.
are animals.
Yeah, but he's a kitchen sponge. That's the thing.
I mean, he's based off a kitchen sponge, but he's not supposed to be. He's supposed to be a sea sponge.
'cause his
But good luck
parents are
convincing
not-
a child what a sea sponge looks like.
Because his parents look like sea sponges, right?
Do you think SpongeBob had cosmetic
Yeah, I
surgery to
think
look like a kitchen sponge?
No, I think that's what the artist rendered him as because it's easier for people to like visually connect with the idea that that's a sponge.
Oh yeah, I guess SquarePants wouldn't work if he was a kitchen sponge, huh?
No, he
guess.
just looked like a lumpy sponge, much like his parents do.
It's pretty fucked up. I can't believe you called Mrs. SquarePants lumpy.
You're just like your parents, SpongeBob.
Also,
I
the SquarePants parents don't have square pants. So is that what SpongeBob's going to look like in the future? Because we have reason to believe it's not because of all the age up bits that they've done.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, you could make the argument that those aren't canon; those are just in someone's imagination.
That's true.
In most cases,
Called biodiversity. He's gonna look like himself forever.
it's fair.
He's just slightly different than his parents because he's inherited all the positive traits of all the sponges before him.
I have
Good
a
for
great
SpongeBob
SpongeBob
and his square pants.
discovery from this week. That's not related to him being a furry.
You guys ever use a juicer?
Yeah,
I don't think I have.
I don't think I have now.
Damn, me neither. I kind of want to.
Fair enough.
You guys want to start juicing here at Off the Air?
I'm good, thanks.
I wouldn't mind it but I also
not a
don't
no.
want to.
That's a no then.
That's gonna be a no from me. It feels like a lot of work. That feels like way too much work when I can just buy the juice.
There's a juicer on sale right now. $40 off. It's only $29.99 for this juicer.
I mean, I've heard
It's just a
worse
matter
ideas.
of how much are you going to use it? It's really what it comes down to. Like so many things like this, where it's very much a question of like use versus cost. If you're buying a $30 juicer and you're never going to use the juicer, then you still just spent $30 regardless of how cheap the juicer is.
Yeah, but I spent $30 on a juicer.
True.
And that's pretty cool.
Juicing is cool. Off the air confirmed.
Why not? I mean, I think it would be fun to get into juicing, but also I don't have the energy to be the guy that's into juicing, which is why it's a pass for me.
Oh, you think like being a juicer, like a guy who's into juicing, is like it's a whole.
It's a lifestyle thing.
It is. Like. I mean, you can't deny it's a lifestyle.
I feel like everyone I know who
juices,
it would be a lifestyle thing.
I don't know anyone who juices. Maybe I got to be the juice guy.
Apparently at the new job, a bunch of my coworkers, they're not health nuts, but they're very much like protein shakes and like Future Food and Mud Water and
what's
juice.
Future Food?
Let's see what it's called. Let's see, Future Food.
Also, I hate Mud Water just because I think it's gross. The concept of it, while I'm sure it's fine and I'm sure it tastes good, I hate their product name.
What do you have against the concept?
It's called Mud Water.
That's
I'm pretty sure it's just mushrooms, isn't it? Isn't it just like a mushroom based?
Yeah, but it says Mud Water, and that's what he said he didn't like.
Yeah, that is literally the thing that I don't like, is that it's called Mud Water, and that it kind of looks like mud water,
I mean, at least it's consistent branding.
Why would you want mud?
It's it's supposed to be a healthier alternative to coffee. Healthier and more, what's the word? Less caffeinated, but more natural energy, blah, 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 what the fuck ever. I have not partaken yet, although I probably should at some point, because it is might as well hop on the coworker crazy train. You know what I'm saying?
You might as well.
Like I'm there. They're offering it for free. It's like drugs. If somebody, I wouldn't go out and get it, but if somebody's there and they're offering it for free, why not?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, it's free. That's a good
free.
price.
Exactly. Free is the best price, actually. I would go so far as to say that there is no price that is better than free, unless someone is paying you to take something.
Yeah, but that's
there's distinctly better prices.
Well, that's not a price then. That's a reward.
That's a reward or a
rebates.
A rebate.
You could probably argue that free is not a price either. At that point, it is its own kind of gift.
Okay, so I guess if we really want to get down to it, 1 penny is the best price. Guys. Is that what we're saying? Dan, I would like to hear your SpongeBob knowledge that you picked up. I am curious.
Talk about SpongeBob. I'm losing. I'm gonna
so I found out
it.
that there was so Michelle and I we had a rough day yesterday. I mean, the dog had a huge allergic reaction. She's much better now, but we were really freaking out because it's the first time she's ever had anything like that. And we just weren't sure if it was just an allergic reaction or something more serious. We're pretty sure a bug bit her when she was outside. That's it. So we're kind of sad. And I'm like, Michelle, I'm sad. I don't want to do anything tonight. Let's go sit in bed and watch SpongeBob. And so we hop on Paramount Plus, which Michelle gets for free because of her job.
Okay,
that makes sense. Yeah.
And we scroll down.
She works for Paramount Plus for context.
Yeah. We find it. I'm scrolling through and I'm like, that's weird. What the fuck is SpongeBob DocuPants? And my thought is, oh man, I wonder if it's like a documentary about the creation of SpongeBob, which would actually be kind of interesting. I think there is a documentary about that somewhere. I vaguely remember seeing it at one point when I was much younger. But no, SpongeBob DocuPants is a 8-episode, about 15 minutes each miniseries that takes 8 to 16. I think it's 2 parts per episode. Like classic SpongeBob episodes, and tells them and like recontextualizes them in the context of a documentary. And it is the funniest, most self-aware, both love letter to like documentary formatting, like TV, like Ghost Hunters documentary formatting or murder mystery documentary formatting, and SpongeBob that I've ever seen, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. It is so fucking funny. There's everything from the like at one point they're like, oh, but SpongeBob would find that one neighbor gave him the courage he needed to go to the Krusty Krab, another would prove to be his greatest enemy, and it fucking is Squidward peeking out of his house, and then they flash it in negative. Like, it's that kind of like self-awareness that it's just beautiful. It's so fucking funny. And I am tickled pink by the idea of retaking a shitload of SpongeBob episodes and just showing them as a docuseries.
That's pretty funny, yeah. I would definitely watch that.
It's so funny. Then they do the first ones were the crusty, the one where he gets tired, and then the one after that was Nasty Patty, which is the one where they accidentally almost kill the health inspector, and they frame it as a as a crime doc, and it's just very, very good. It's very, very good, and I wish that there was like a way to watch it that wasn't on Paramount Plus, but I'm sure you can find it somewhere.
Should you say that? I guess so. You know,
I'm not the one who gets Paramount Plus for free. Fuck it.
I've thought about Paramount Plus only for Bar Rescue, but then they just play Bar Rescue literally 24/7 on YouTube, so I just watch it there.
Wait, really?
Yeah, like 24/7. They have a live stream that just plays episodes.
I need you to understand that this is the most excited. Holy shit! There it is.
Yeah, it's just like episodes and highlights constantly.
Wait, is this just happening right now because of the 200th episode?
It's been there for months.
I'm
sorry I didn't tell you earlier. I didn't know you needed that in your life.
I love Bar Rescue so much because
I also love Bar Rescue.
You know, John Taffer comes in and he just yells at people like this.
He does. He's like Gilbert Gottfried on steroids.
Yeah, he's like the 6'5" Gilbert Gottfried, and he gets up in these people's faces, and then suddenly a bodyguard who's even taller and bigger than he is comes in to get like ready to put the beat down on these skinny old ladies who are yelling back at him because he's like, your ideas are shit, you're shit, I hate your ideas, you need to do things my way, and they're just offended because he's being rude. And then his bodyguards come in to beat the shit out of them if they get out of line. It's such a good show. And then you have the episodes where it's like, what do you mean I can't sexually harass my employees? That's just a perk of business. And it's like, people out here are like this. Holy shit, it's my favorite
Bar
show.
Rescue is like, he kind of hits like a lot of the Gordon Ramsay notes where like he knows what he's doing, but he's harsh. But unlike Gordon Ramsay, people will be like, Gordon Ramsay, you don't know what you're talking about. And he'll be like, what's wrong with you? Whereas John Taffer will be like, here's my list of achievements. I'm better than you. I hate you. You're like,
John, you don't know what you're talking about. Excuse me? You're going to tell me that when I've had 700 bars I've saved from the brink of destruction?
It's like I'm a multi-millionaire. Like, John, you can't just say that. He just flexes on people immediately. He's like, you think I don't know bars? I've made $20 million a year in this business.
I just opened up the live stream and he's just berating 3 people.
I have no clue what this is, but it sounds amazing.
Oh, it's Kitchen Nightmares, but with bars. Yeah. So it's even funnier because half the people are drunk.
Yeah.
And he's yelling at them.
Very, very good.
There's this one that's really great. That's like, this guy's like, yeah, I want to have a rock and roll memorabilia bar. I love it. Or no, a sports bar. He's like, I want a sports bar. I love sports. I'm going to have the best sports bar ever. He has a lot of sports memorabilia. He honestly has a great sports bar. The problem is there's other sports bars in town and they're all doing things better because they're chains and they have corporate backing. So John comes in and he's like, no bar in town is doing local things. You need to become the best damn local bar ever. And the guy's like, I've sunk so much money into my sports bar. I want a sports bar. Can we make this work? And he says, no, fuck you. You're in a haunted house. Make your haunted house bar. And
that's so good.
They make the bar into a haunted house bar attraction instead because apparently someone was murdered there. And that's like the whole episode is him just telling him to embrace the haunted house aspect of the bar and that sports bars are stupid for him.
Which, to be fair,
and then you'll watch the next episode. This guy's like, yeah, I just wanted a dingy hole in the wall bar, but suddenly my bills are too high. And John's like, you need to just stop doing coke in the bathrooms and stop drinking straight out of the bottle. And they just say, no, what else can we do? It's so good.
Not gonna lie to you, this sounds like a fucking gift.
Especially because when you watch it, like, I've experienced working in bars, and like, I'm not like the world's greatest bartender, but I was pretty good. And like, the worst coworkers I ever had would be star players on that show.
Honestly,
like the things he'll be like, "Can you make a margarita?" They're like, "No one's ever ordered that, and I don't know what it is." And you're like, "What?
How?"
They're like, "Can you get me a beer?" And they're like, "I don't even know what a beer does." Well, can you pour it? And they're like, I don't know how to pour a beer right. And they just like fuck it up. I'm like, how do you do that every day and never be like, why isn't this working? And then just Google it real quick.
Like you'll have times when the guys are like, hey, can I have an old fashioned? And then they come back with a glass full to the brim with just straight bourbon.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is an old fashioned. And he's like, that's not an old fashioned. They're like, that's how I've always made them. That has to be an old fashioned.
It really is incredible.
That sounds amazing. It does
is,
very much.
however-
It does sound like it has a very Kitchen Nightmares vibe.
Much like Kitchen Nightmares, you really can't watch that much of it in a single sitting because A, you're gonna just feel bad about it, and B, it's kind of mind numbing after a while.
Because it's always the same
Yeah.
of people are just real stupid and won't listen to common sense.
Well, especially if you
Yeah.
get like a couple episodes of like actually abusive, shitty people in a row. Like
Gross.
I wish I was joking when I tell you that like bar owners assaulting their employees is like, I wish I was joking when I said that happens more than once, where they think like, what do you mean this is a problem? I'm just like smacking their ass as they go by. I'm not doing anything, and they act like that's fine.
Gross.
Like, so sometimes you get a few of those in a row and it's like, I'm done. This is a little much right now.
Yeah, it's
that sounds. I won't lie to you. That sounds pretty terrible. But
Other than
besides
that,
part,
the
it
show
sounds
is
great.
an absolute roller coaster. And just watching John Taffer scream at people with a Gilbert Gottfried voice is so good.
it's hilarious.
That
He's
You know
got
what show
the
I've been
thickest
binging
fingers and he shoves them right in people's face.
Oh, absolutely. And he gets right up in there. Like, he does not back down. He's crazy.
Big like rings on his hand. He's like, you. Anyway, what were you saying, Jackson?
So Amari and I have been obsessing and binging Spring Baking Championship.
Oh, what's that?
You know, you're not familiar.
No, I don't think I am.
Oh, it's great. So I don't have Paramount Plus, but I have since literally launch day had Discovery Plus.
okay.
You know, as a 90-day stand and as a Food Network lover.
Oh, of course.
It just makes sense, truly.
Yeah, you know, it's just it's fun. Well, the thing is, like, I like the Food Network, but I would rather die than watch like anyone be like, "Welcome to my country kitchen." I just want to watch someone be like, "If you don't bake this dish, we'll hit you with a watermelon out of a slingshot." Yeah, you know,
Feels
those
fair.
kind of things.
Yeah.
My
And,
Country Kitchen, all like 300 like iterations of it, awful. I hate them all.
Yeah, there is this one. My mom was watching the one day when I was at their apartment, and it literally was like this woman. She was like, she's literally like, yeah, I live on a farm with my husband in like Central Dakota. I'm like, which one? And then like she just talks about like the grain silo for 20 minutes, and then she's like,
Anyway,
started
I'm going to
making,
take this
like,
block
matzo
of
balls.
Velveeta and Oscar
she
Mayer
started
hot
making matzo
dogs.
balls. She was making like, because she is Jewish and Chinese, and she's like, she started making matzo balls. She's like, and you know, I've got to put like a Chinese flair on them, and I was like, what?
You know I gotta.
I was like, I get it. Like, I don't like. It's just, why did you talk about a grain silo for 20 minutes to make matzo balls? I just don't. It's like the physical version and the visual version of the blog posts that are like 7 paragraphs about growing up in like, I don't know, Salem, Massachusetts, before finally like telling you how to make no bakes.
Which,
We're
you
just
know,
talking about
one would
unrelated things
argue
for
that
20
that's
minutes.
very important.
Yeah, they're just talking about unrelated things for like 20 minutes.
You can argue it all you want. No, it doesn't make you right.
Yeah, that's a fun one. She seems fun. Can't remember her name, but you know,
When
there's a lot of
Nina and I got married, we put Food Network on just to
At the
like
wedding.
fall asleep to because, you know, we don't have cable. So we're going to enjoy it while we got it. And I kid you not, or no, not before sleeping, in the morning. I kid you not, it was the same episode of the same Frontier cooking show that we managed to catch.
was it the Pioneer
a
Woman?
full year before while driving her car back from Washington when we turned Food Network on in the morning at the hotel one day. It was the same
funny.
episode. And I'm watching it thinking, this feels very familiar. And then she does some dumb stunt with her kids. And I'm like, holy shit, it's the same thing. I was so angry.
The show, before I forget, the Spring Baking Championship
Oh yeah.
it's like it's like a whole bunch of bakers, and they're competing for like a $50,000 prize, and they just like they have challenges every round to like make a roll cake, and then they all make it, and then someone gets eliminated, and it's just it's like a fun like bigger scale chopped, and they do like a preheat, so before anyone gets eliminated, they do like a preliminary round so that someone gets like an advantage. It's pretty entertaining, and it lasts in like seasons. So instead of being like an episode of Chopped where at the end of it there's a winner and the next time there's more people, like you watch the whole season as the contestants get whittled down.
So it's kind of like British Bake Off.
Yeah, but I watched British Bake Off and I don't get it. It doesn't seem like there's any point, and it doesn't seem like anyone ever goes home, and there's only like 3 people there at a time.
Huh?
The Great British Bake Off or whatever.
I mean, the show starts with like 18 people and gets cut down to 3.
I have exclusively watched it. Whenever I click on it, it's just like 4 people in the kitchen and no one ever goes home. And every episode's like 7 hours long.
I wonder if maybe you watched one of the celebrity rounds by accident.
Perhaps. I also really hate the hosts.
I think that's incredible. Wait, the hosts or the judges?
Is the judges maybe?
Because Mel and Sue
don't the
are
judges
great,
walk around and talk to people?
and so's Noel Felding. But Paul Hollywood, on the other hand, is a bit of an ass.
I just ate whenever like I'm watching like a baking show and there's somebody who's like, I'm gonna walk up to the baker and be like, "Well, you're using blueberries. That's very cool of you." And I just want to hit him with like a claw.
Oh yeah,
hammer,
that's
you know?
probably
Like,
Noel Felding.
It just sets me off whenever anyone like talks to them. They're like, "Today I'm gonna try and be funny." Like, no, just go back to talking about how to make like a proper like pat au choux. Like, I'm sick of this.
See, the thing that I love and hate about Paul Hollywood the most is he'll come up and then just stick his big old hand right in their dish on like, because he's a bread maker. So on bread week, he'll come up and he'll just like poke their stuff and be like, "Do you think this is going to be okay?" And they'll be like, "Well, the other 17 times I've made it in preparation, it worked out great." And he'll just keep poking it like, "You sure this is good? Do you think this is fucking good enough?" And it's like, well, I did think it was fine. And then you were like really rude about it. But he's got this like air of being so intimidating. I'm sure he's a very talented guy. You know, he has his reputation for a reason, but he also looks like evil Guy Fieri.
You ever watch the Great Food Truck Race?
I haven't, but it looks like a blast.
You know, I watched it back when it was like a new thing, and I remember watching it and being like, man, that's you know, pretty fun. I like baking, cooking kind of competition shows, except for the Great British Bake Off. Apparently, I don't like it.
I love, well, I mean, we've talked a lot about my favorite competition cooking stuff. It's competition cooking is just fun, except when sometimes it's a little too much, but like generally a good time. By the way, here's a picture of Paul Hollywood, just so you can, that's what he looks like on an average day.
Yeah, I don't like that guy. Yeah, I'm just, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I can't watch it and not be like, whoa, the whole time.
Whoa, it's true.
But
I'm sorry, you can't be like, what?
Fun. Whoa, for British people whenever they speak.
You see, it's like water bottle, except he said it in English.
I see. I apologize for my deep and unending confusion.
It's okay. I forgive you.
I'll let it slide.
I don't want your fucking
pain
forgiveness.
I guess not. You guys like IKEA? You guys ever go to IKEA?
Yeah, of course.
I have. I've only ever been once. It was an experience.
No, IKEA's great.
IKEA's.
My problem with IKEA is this. I feel like the quality of the stuff you get from IKEA, while fine, is so not movable, if that makes sense. Like moving IKEA,
you set it up once and it's fine.
Exactly. You try to take it apart and reset it somewhere else, and that shit is gonna fall apart. To the point where when we had movers come help us move last time, they literally were like, "We will move this IKEA stuff, but we do not insure anything from IKEA because it just falls apart," which sucks. I like.
Do you disassemble it before you move it though?
Yeah, of course. But they're not meant to be disassembled and reassembled. The screws don't go in quite as tightly a second time, like that kind of thing. Just not designed to be reassembled more than once. But other than that, yeah, huge IKEA fan. Really do not love the people who are like, "Oh, but IKEA meatballs." Like, it's fine, dude. Like, calm down.
They're pretty fun.
Like,
they're with a toothpick.
Nah, dude, they're just meatballs. It's fine. Like, it's not.
Did you eat them with a toothpick?
I don't know, Dan. You eat them with a toothpick.
You can eat any meatball with a tooth. You can eat any meatball with a toothpick.
No. Yeah, but how often are you getting meatballs places?
Dude, just go make meatballs. Do you know how easy meatballs are to make?
Incredibly easy, but I don't make furniture at my house.
It's fair. It's fair. The key is the meatball and furniture combo.
Yeah, and the lingonberry stuff, the lingonberry soda.
Lingonberry soda is pretty good. I'll give you that.
It's pretty good, and it's like $1. You know, it's pretty affordable.
Unlike everything else in IKEA,
which is also pretty affordable, though.
And some of it, I think, some of it is more affordable than others. Like some stuff, I'm like, damn, you're really trying to charge me all this money for this quality product. That's really what we're doing here.
You know what I will say though? I think with IKEA, if you get like the cheaper IKEA stuff, that's like a good deal. It's good, but that's the stuff that'll fall apart on a move. Like the high end IKEA stuff is actually really nice.
I buy that.
Like the chair I got, like my desk chair I got from IKEA like 3 years ago, and I moved with it like 4 times. And it still works wonderful. It's still like nice and springy. I've disassembled and like but it's also the most expensive desk chair at IKEA.
Fair, that might be it. Maybe it's just I'm getting the cheaper, shittier IKEA stuff,
which is fine too. I mean, like
one of those. Oh damn! Desk. Maybe I'm going to IKEA doing IKEA things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with some cheap, shitty IKEA stuff. That's oftentimes the best IKEA stuff.
It just
in
doesn't
terms
move
of
well.
like value per dollar. You know,
Yeah,
it just doesn't.
yeah.
It's just not mobile and it's not long term. But when you're on a budget and you just moved in, you need like a couch today, but you have $200, you can get a really bad one.
Yeah, that is. I think that
Craigslist
is
nice for that too.
IKEA is very much a I'm moving and need something, anything to go into my house. And also, on a related note, furniture stupid expensive.
Furniture
is.
is incredibly expensive.
And I get it on some level, right? A good piece of furniture will last you literally forever. Man, IKEA furniture, in my opinion, has no business being as expensive as it is. Like, I'm using an IKEA desk right now, and like it is some dark vinyl over like the vinyl wood. You know what I'm talking about? I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Over a like shit. What is that fucking garbage wood? The like that's just smaller pieces of wood.
The particle board.
Particle board, yeah, over particle board. And like, no, I shouldn't have had to spend like $300 on this or $250 on this desk setup for it to be made out of particle board.
I agree, but I also that's the nice thing about IKEA is if you were to spend $350, it wouldn't be particle board. But that's the problem.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This was $350.
Oh, I think it's $250.
I mean, I'm using a corner. And then I have two short pieces, so I think those were like 150, 50. And then the legs.
What, you bought 3 separate parts for your desk though?
Yeah, it's a 3-parter desk. So it's still
at that point, you know, it's
I got the size. I just didn't get the stability. But I don't know. Desks are expensive, and it makes you sad. That's my point.
Size and stability is going to be the most expensive for sure.
Yeah, true.
I got the IKEA one with like the sliding drawers, and it's got like the little wire. Like you put all your cords in there.
My problem with those is that I always feel like it's not big enough. Like I feel like I use up a shitload of desk space whenever I am at a desk.
This desk is really big though, for what it's worth. I got my microphone, my laptop, I got Mari's laptop, iPad, PS5, a lamp, mouse pad, mouse, a whole bunch of books, water bottle, little vanity thing. There's a lot of stuff going on this desk.
Maybe I'm just bad at space management as well as money management.
It's probably like 3.5 feet long or wide.
That is much smaller than mine. Mine is all told about 6 feet long and maybe 3 feet wide. And it's
a pretty big desk.
It's full to the brim with stuff. I just have so much shit. What I should do is what I'm going to do next time I rearrange my office is I'm going to put it against the wall so I can put stuff on shelves above me and like on the wall, because I've discovered that is an annoyance that I've been running into is that like I just don't have part of the reason I don't have space is because I'm like in the middle of the room and I don't really have a lot of shelving to put stuff on, so a lot of it ends up on top of my desk.
All right, so my desk at home, guess where I got it from?
IKEA.
Nope.
Costco.
Shittier.
The side of the road.
Walmart. From Walmart.
Walmart.
Guess when I got it?
5 years ago.
I'm gonna guess 3 years ago.
2001.
Jesus.
Yeah, well, my parents obviously bought.
Well, that was a different era of Walmart, though.
No, it sucks, but it's a trooper.
It goes, dude. It just vibes
I've
out here.
moved this desk like 8 times. The secret to moving shitty furniture is not reusing the same screws, but getting screws that are just like so slightly wider so that they can rethread.
That's big brain as fuck.
It is.
That
but
actually
it's really
makes a
inconvenient
ton of
going to the
sense.
store every time you move your desk into a different room.
Well, sure, but I
And
mean,
you reach a point of diminishing returns where you can't get wider screws.
That is true. Eventually, that does happen.
eventually you run out of screws. You hit maximum screw.
This is the widest possible screw that is still only like an inch thick or an inch long, and I'm getting there. The desk has got to retire.
You're approaching critical mass. I think that next time I get a new desk, I'm gonna get like go to an actual furniture store and honest to God, I might even just build a desk because that way I can get it to the dimensions I want. I'm a tall guy, so the desk and chair combination never quite matches up for me. Like it's always just a little bit awkward for me to sit. It's like the desk is a little too high, the desk is a little too low, the chair's a little too high, the chair's a little too low. I could go for like a standing desk, which I've considered a lot because not even to stand at, but because they are fully raised lowerable. But I don't know.
You know what? I don't know that that's even like a being tall problem. I think that's just a universal. Like they need to. You know what they should do? They should sell desks and chairs in like a set or of like a make for one another. So that way you're not like, man, why does this chair not go up high enough or not go down low enough for this desk?
Why don't the arms of this chair slide under my desk properly?
Mm-hmm. They never do. I don't
They
think it's
literally never do.
If the same company made the same desk and chair and we're selling these both to you, the arms wouldn't fit under the chair.
Which is
because that's just
insane. Bonkers nonsense, I think is how the kids call it.
Mari has put a shirt on Giblet.
Oh, is it cute?
It's a little cat shirt. It says "Keep it cool."
I feel like putting a shirt on a cat would make it warm.
Well, he's currently hiding under the bed, so
Oh, little baby.
I don't know that he has received. I don't know that he's keeping it cool, quite frankly.
He does sound like he is distinctly the opposite of cool right now.
Yeah, seeing as hiding is personally, if you ask me, not very cool.
Not very cash money indeed, I would even argue.
I would also agree.
So sorry, I got distracted looking at because I was looking at like desks and chairs on IKEA just to see like what it was like, and then I was like, oh, let's go to Craigslist and see what they got. Because that's what I was gonna say. Craigslist is like a secret slapper when it comes to getting furniture for the cheap.
For wooden furniture.
Look-
Never get anything upholstered off Craigslist.
Oh, never.
No.
It's just gonna smell like fart. But look at this cool ass thing.
Let's see, what do we got? Ooh, that's rad as hell.
That's rad as hell.
Needs a little TLC, but damn, that's cool.
Ooh, I like that.
I like that
What
a
is
lot.
that? Just like an ancient filing cabinet.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I kind of.
I love
so
that.
like,
Guys, can we just
Think
buy a
about-
filing cabinet right here on
I-
off the air?
I might buy a filing cabinet for coffee beans.
That's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad
I just
idea.
need like something to put them in, but I don't know if I've got the space for it. Like I don't know.
That does
'Cause
seem like
it'll
a
have to be-
pretty decent sized space commitment. I won't lie to you. Like that is
Yeah.
not small.
I was literally
It's
about
true.
to say, I don't know, it's only 2 feet wide. And then I'm like, oh shit, 2 feet wide. Where would I put that? Because I'm like
Exactly.
looking at my desk in front of me and I don't even have space for the things on it that I have.
Well, it's space for it, but then
Exactly.
I'll have to move it in like 2 months.
Oh, are you moving in 2 months?
Well, I'm only in Pittsburgh for the summer, so
Now I know.
kind of a bad idea to buy furniture that I don't really have space for here and have to move in no time and might not have space for where I'm moving it to. So it's like a triple whammy. But this thing's cool as hell.
Yeah, the thing is very cool. I think that if I at all possibly like so the problem I've run into, right, is there's a lot of things that I would love to go out and buy as far as furniture goes. Even like off of Craigslist and stuff like that. But the key is if you're going to buy something off of Craigslist, you need to make sure you have the room, not necessarily even to store it, but to like refurbish it, right? Like that thing
Yeah.
needs some
Mhm.
serious TLC. I can't do that in my living room.
No, right?
Luckily, I have like a porch outside and I could put a tarp over it if it
That's
gets, like, bad
exactly what
weather.
you need. Yeah. And
But,
I'm very jealous of you for that. I won't lie.
You also have to have the acumen to be able to restore it effectively.
That's
Mhm.
true. But I think that part of that can be you can get away with a lot of Googling for that, I feel like.
There's a lot that you can get away with, but then you still have to buy the stuff. And
That's
no
true.
amount of Googling can tell you, well, I mean, it can tell you, but no amount of Googling can tell you what solvents that you need to use to strip some of the wood shouldn't be mixed with each other or you could die in a poorly ventilated area.
Well, that's the benefit of the porch.
It do be the benefit of the porch. But, like things like that where it's like sometimes you
And the
follow all
time,
the steps
you know?
and then you just make a dumb mistake. You do need to be at least a little educated beforehand.
Well, and I
You
think
have to have
that's
the time to do it too.
That's
That is
the other
another
thing. Is
issue.
that, like, time is hard. But
Yeah,
I would
like-
love to do little projects like this.
Hmm.
Honestly, yeah. And this is like some of them. Like sometimes, like stuff like this. Like you probably could take a decent, like just a little bit of polish and clean the thing up, and it probably would look just fine. You probably don't need much more for that.
It's kind of fun to keep it like a little bit banged up. And
Exactly.
vintage looking,
Yeah. It has a story.
And
I like
there
it.
are
It's just
1,310 cabinets for sale.
That's too many cabinets.
Yeah, why is everyone selling cabinets? They don't got use for them?
I'm now looking at my Craigslist to see
I
what.
kinda-
Oh,
I
it's
was-
got to be insane.
Oh, I'm sure.
New York City Craigslist has to be. They got a sandblasting cabinet. Damn, where's Jeff at?
New York.
Jeff, you'll never
Like-
believe it. Managed to find a sandblasting cabinet just for you. You just got to come
On
pick it up.
Craigslist.
South Jersey, Central Jersey. There's no North Jersey, so I assume they just want you to go straight for New York.
They probably want you to leave Jersey alone, as you should.
So if you just Google or if you just search cabinet on Craigslist, you also find guitar cabinets, like the guitar amp.
Ooh.
Body.
Yeah, I was seeing those.
Let's see. Let's search for desk. I want a new desk. Guys, welcome to the Craigslist podcast.
Honestly, that's a great idea. I would listen to a Craigslist podcast.
I feel like
and
you could do it
are
as a stream,
right now.
or you could do it at like it's hard because we can't show them what we're looking at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just got to make sure that like you bring it out and you describe it properly. Like, what I hate, by the way, people who go on Craigslist and advertise like services. Like, this is a professionally made kitchen cabinet set I'm looking at here. And it's like, damn well that that's not what I meant when I searched cabinet on Craigslist.
You guys,
I'm
I
looking
searched
for this
desk-
guy right above it who's selling a sewing machine built into a desk.
Oh, the
One of
roll-top
those?
desk.
Dude, that roll top
No.
desk is hot.
That's not
I
what I
used to
meant,
have,
but
like,
I
the
also
exact
want one of
same one.
those.
I want one of those so bad. I would never be able to have enough room for it, and it's expensive as shit. But also, goddamn.
They feel
really
so.
want a roll-top
I
desk.
honestly, I feel like having a roll top desk is this like, it's this level of like luxury that it just feels good to have one.
Yeah. I don't think any of us
Why?
deserve a roll top.
I don't know.
I
I,
don't know.
used to have one in my house as a kid, and I don't get it.
I think
mean,
it's
maybe 'cause you
because
used to
that
have
I
one.
didn't have one, so I look at
Yeah.
those and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, I got one on Craigslist for $100 right now. What are you even doing? No, just get a roll top desk off Craigslist.
I mean, maybe. I'm still looking
I
at
do-
cabinets and just seeing that there's apparently no one in Erie selling cabinets.
Like, I just don't want like a desk that I can't even like put anything under that's tall.
That's very fair. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is a surreal entry. It just says desk, and then there's just a picture of like an L-shaped desk that's really far away.
I am actually almost afraid of that.
I feel like we should 100% do bonus content of just going through Craigslist and seeing what we can find and finding the most cursed and blessed things.
There you go, Jackson. You found your bonus content to edit.
Yeah, just Craigslist scrolling.
It's just
That's
Craigslist.
not
It's addictive. Okay, we need to stop. We need to stop scrolling Craigslist.
We do. What else can we talk about? What else did I say we were going to talk about earlier?
I mean,
Didn't you have something?
No, played Resident Evil 7.
I was gonna say
No,
I played Resident
yeah.
Evil 7. I finished that. Firstly, big shout out to Brian, moderator of the Off the Air Discord and all around great guy who gifted me a copy of Resident Evil 7. What the heck? That was awesome. And the game's super good. This is the first time I've ever played a Resident Evil. I have watched people play before. I've like read about them before, you know, like I know the general plot of most of the games, right? But I've never played one, and I did not realize how much of the experience, like obviously, you know, you miss a lot of the experience not playing a game, yada yada yada. But I don't usually mind like many games when I don't play it. I'm like, oh no, I'm missing out on all. I don't usually feel like that, you know, but man, Resident Evil is a game that needs to be played, and it's just fun.
I agree.
I don't have too much more to say. It's just such a fun game. I'm bummed that I missed out on it when it was big. I'm glad that 8 has come out so that I can go and I can play through that and have a good time with it. The puzzles are fun, but they're not too complicated that I like feel stupid about it.
Like the light puzzles are the best ones in that game.
Man, I hated that for a hot second because it's clear that they were made for people with like a controller. And I didn't realize that I could use the WASD keys to also rotate. So I'm trying to do it all with my mouse, and I'm having just a straight up bad time. But then I figured that out, and man, it was a good puzzle.
Yeah, I just think it's so cool because it looks like absolute nonsense until you get it like pretty close to right, and then it just clicks in your brain.
Also, dead funniest thing ever is just the note you find somewhere. It's like installed secret shadow door. It's like a bill of sale for their secret shadow doorway installation. And I'm like, how dare you write that down like it's some sort of commonplace item? Like, and then we came in and we installed the secret shadow door at the Bakers, and then we went down to the Johnsons down the street and we gave them, you know, the torture dungeon as you do. And
The best thing about the secret shadow door is the fact that like the first one, the Eagle one, doesn't even like open a door. It like literally opens like a crack in the wall you crawl through.
yeah.
Like someone's like, yeah, so we installed a door. No, it doesn't open a door. It makes the wall slightly part, so you have to squeeze through it.
So good.
Also, I love the, you know, at the very end of the game, you get to have a little hallucination conversation with Jack. And he's just like, none of us are bad people. We never wanted any of this bad stuff to happen. But like, just at like 20 minutes before, I'm up at Lucas's old bedroom where I'm reading his diary about how as a child, he invited a friend over who had been like rude to him and locked him in the attic until he died. And it's like, no. Your son is a psychopath. Like, he's not good people. That's not okay. The rest of you might be okay,
shouldn't have been
but
rude.
your son is actually unhinged and needs help.
I was
Shouldn't
the
have
idea
been-
that they're like, yeah, I invited my like. Imagine you have kids, right? You're hanging out and you got your kids there. They're like, hey, I'm bringing a friend over. You're like, all right, cool. And then they just put them in the attic and just let them die. You'd
And
never
you
be
do
like, hey,
nothing.
did your friend ever leave?
I
I
think
guess
you-
you could just be like, yeah, no, they totally left. And then they'd be like, oh, okay, I didn't see him.
Very soundproof attic.
But it's not, because there's another entry in the journal about how he's getting really sick of the black goo dripping down from his ceiling because it smells bad.
Gross.
It's a soundproof, not goo proof.
Oh, my bad.
Drew.
It's a design flaw.
Gotta get that sound goo combo, dude. Can't skimp.
Speaking of leaking from the ceiling,
Yeah, no, go for it.
No.
So I had to call my landlord the other day because there's a drip on the bathroom ceiling. And, you know, I'm looking at that because Nina sends me a picture. I don't know how I didn't register it was there when I went to work that morning. But I get to work and she sends me, apparently, because she sends me a picture of like the top of the toilet had this like crusty, dirty water on it. And there was a drippy spot on the ceiling. Gross. And yeah, I mean, we looked into it. Nothing, it hasn't spread. It dried up. Nothing has changed. Seems like it's fine, but
it doesn't seem like the kind of thing you should just sit on, though.
No, yeah, landlord came over. He checked upstairs. He checked ours. We circled it with a pencil, and he said if it gets damp or wet or starts to spread, just let me know right away. But otherwise, he's planning on cutting the ceiling open soon to install a vent fan anyway. So
fair enough.
He said we'll afford to let it like wait for now, but it does look like rusty water, which I don't know about you, but to me, that says there's a leaky pipe.
That seems not unreasonable. I am not a pipe professional, contrary to popular belief, but it seems reasonable that would be what would cause that. Yeah.
Personally, I think it's goo, but
it might just
that's
be black goo.
Professional opinion.
No,
as a professional,
maybe the black goo in the game is the black goo in real life.
Yeah, sometimes the real black goo was the thing in Noah's ceiling.
Shoot, I can't believe it.
I can.
And now you're ready to play Resident Evil 8 Village.
I'm so excited to. I really, really am excited to play that. Also, I definitely did the bad ending for Resident Evil 7 because I saved the wrong person. I know it's the bad ending because the achievement said I got ending 2 instead of ending 1.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So then you saved the person who Zoe.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is Zoe?
I really do get why people replay the game though, because this is a very replayable game, I think.
Oh, especially once you get like the extra content shop and you can get like unlimited ammo and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
Yeah, I'm just pumped. I can't wait. I'm gonna go through it again on my own time and just have some fun with it. Also, I heard that if you finish the game in under 4 hours, you get you get the limitless ammo. Or no, you get buzzsaw. If you finish it in under 4 hours, you get a buzzsaw that you can take through the rest of the game. That sounds like a blast.
How long did it take you to get through?
8 hours.
That's not bad.
No, not
For
bad
a game
at all.
designed to be replayed, that's not bad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that was with a lot of bumbling and some embarrassing moments of me not figuring out very objectively simple puzzles.
That does sound like you, to be fair.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's things like there's a doorway that when you walk through it, water sprays and it puts out your candle. And then I had a dirty telescope that I needed to rinse off. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'll equip it in my hand and walk through that. And it wouldn't let me equip it. So I'm like, oh, I must be on the wrong path here. Maybe something different. But no, you have to stand in the water and force equip it into your inventory because you can't equip it and just hold it and then look through it. You had to equip it in inventory, which I think is fine. If you know that that's how the game works, fine. Mm-hmm. But for me, I've not touched any Resident Evil puzzle before, it did seem a little counterintuitive. Even though I had put 2 and 2 together of how to make it happen, of like what I had to do, I just didn't know how to make it happen. You know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I'm glad you did it. It's a game that I've always kind of looked at like kind of sideways because I've always felt like, you know, not my thing personally, but from everything I hear, it's very, very, very good.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like it's, you know, you don't like horror things, so you're never going to look at it regardless. Like it's one of the things where it's like, hey, if you like scary games, may I point you in that direction? And you can point out well-regarded games that you have no desire to touch.
That's very true.
And I don't think you would have a good time with this game whatsoever. So I would not recommend you check it out.
Fair enough.
However, I also think that if you were able to get past the panic moment for a few of the different parts, I think you would have a good time with the rest of it.
I think it seems like for both of them, they're not, for the most part, they're only like moderately spooky, but their spooky moments are sharp enough that it colors a lot of the game. Is kind of how it seems from the outside looking in.
I think you would have such a good time with the ammo conservation and combat mechanics because
I do
every
like
now and then
ammo.
It's just like, hey, here we are. We're going to throw an enemy at you that will eat up 13 of your bullets. Have a good time. And that's 13 headshots. Have a good time.
People think you're a coward.
And
You
that's the thing.
stab
That's like,
everything and then only shoot bosses.
I wish I had done that because that would have treated me much better. That final Jack fight really ate every single bullet I had, which is fine because, it's not like you have another major combat thing after that anyway.
It's
but
the final fight, hence
well,
the final
not
Jack fight.
really, but there's enough things in between then and the actual final fight. You get a whole new weapon and a lot of
Nice.
ammo, so
You love to see new weapons.
it was a machine gun.
Ooh, I do like machine guns. I do like both machines and guns, actually.
I will say though, Resident Evil machine guns are underwhelming.
Yeah, they are. They're wildly inaccurate and very low damage.
And such high ammo consumption when in a game that's like all about limited ammo.
Mm-hmm.
So you really only get to have a couple minutes of fun, and then you're like, well, now I'm out of ammo. You find a little bit, and you're like, that'll last me half a second.
I picked up a box
kill
of
an
machine gun
enemy.
shells, and I'm like, oh, sweet, 60 bullets. That's going to last me a while. And then I found out that's not even one clip.
Oof.
Yeah, and then the shotguns are like, you found 3 shells, 1 shell kills everything.
Yeah, but you can't make more shotgun shells, so good luck with that. Did they change that in 8? Because that was something that bummed me
yeah.
out a lot.
Yeah, you can make more shells in 8.
Thank goodness.
You guys, E3 is going on right now.
E3 is going on right now. How is E3 doing? Because
I'll be honest.
I
for
haven't
the first
watched
time
any of it.
in many years, I also was very behind on it until this morning when I was like, "Hey, I should talk about this on the show." E3's fine so far. It's actually going. There's the Microsoft Bethesda conference is going on right now, which I'm going to see what's up with that once we're done here. But yeah, I mean, nothing. Did anything super stand out?
There's a sequel to
Devolver.
Mario and Rabbids, right?
There is Mario Rabbids. A Far Cry 6 is a DLC called Become the Villain, which looks really cool.
Yeah, but Far Cry 6 is even out. Why are they talking about the DLC?
Because it's part of the season pass. And it very much felt like to me it looked like it was in the same vein as like a Far Cry Blood Dragon type thing where it's a DLC but it's really like a separated game. It's just a cool idea. I like the idea of, hey, go back and play as the villains from previous games. Like I think that's just a neat thing, and like little short missions. Rainbow Six Extraction is about aliens, which it's like a co-op. It's co-op Rainbow Six with aliens, which I'm kind of here for.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow Warrior 3 looks like what if it was Neo Japan and Doom. Like it seems very Doom-like from what I've seen. Demon Throttle is kind of, it's like a bullet hell, and the only thing that I care about was in the trailer the quote from a gruff cowboy that was, "That demon kissed my wife," or something, and that's the
What?
entire plot of the game.
A demon kissed your wife?
Or something. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm
Wizard
not
with a
gonna
gun.
lie, I
which
thought
looks like-
Demon Throttle would be like a racing game where you
did
have
not expect-
fireballs.
I think it's more you're throttling demons. Like I think is more the energy.
I am picking up on that.
But I'm very here for it. Phantom Abyss is that I don't know if you guys saw it. That's the maze running. It's like a Temple of Doom running game where you see spirits all around you, and it's other players who have tried to run through the same temple as you in the past.
That sounds fun.
It looks very cool. I don't know how it's going to play, like how it's going to actually feel. It kind of seemed like, do you guys know Death Run from like the old Gary's mod?
Yeah.
Did any of you play? Yeah, it seems very much like that because it says it's an asymmetric multiplayer game, which says to me that there's like a Death Run, like a game master almost type thing. That or it's just always procedurally generated and like one player gets each one and then it's taking another rotation, which seems like it would be not great. And then Wizard with a Gun, which very much had a Don't Starve kind of vibe to it, both graphically and playstyle wise. And it's what if a Western 2.5D shooter, or isometric 2.5D like survival game, but it's wizards and also the Westerns, which I know we all love here on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And then Watch Dogs Legion has Bloodlines, which I don't own Legion, but I probably should at some point. And the big complaint with Legion was, hey, there's not really a single main character. So in reaction, they made a DLC for it that is, hey, we brought back all the old main characters from the previous games, which I'm kind of here for. I have a real soft spot
Legions
for.
is like $12.
I've heard
always
it's
on sale.
I've heard it's really solid, as long as you get past the fact that there's no main character. Like, as long as you aren't going in and being like, I want to attach myself to this person, I heard it's pretty good.
I feel like that is a problem though, right? Because if I go to play a game and it turns out that there's no main character and you have to attach to a group, all that tells me is this was going to be a like
some kind of multiplayer thing.
It was going to be like, what is it? Game as a service? What is that called?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, no, that's it.
Games as a service. It was going to be like a Divinity style thing. Not Divinity, for crying out loud.
I know what you're talking about.
Destiny.
All
it tells me is it was going to be Destiny-esque or something like that. And I got to be honest, I do not like those games at all. Nothing against anyone who likes them. Happy that you like them. I hate that all games I like trended that way, though. I mean, Dragon Age 4 almost got canceled because they tried to make Dragon Age Inquisition like that, and they only pulled it last minute. But it was supposed to be a Destiny style game, and thank goodness they didn't do that, because Anthem came out and tanked so bad it wasn't even funny. You know, like,
which sucks, because Anthem seemed like it had a lot of really good ideas, and then just wasn't good.
No, everyone I know who played it loved it. Just that,
but you had to get past the fact that it was not well designed.
Also, like, I guess the servers were really, really weak, unfortunately. So like people who got it and were excited for day one could not play.
That's rough.
But yeah, games as a service, not a fan. And anytime that there's no core character, that's all that it feels like to me. Great for multiplayer games, not good for a game that's supposed to be a single player experience. Yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Watch Dogs Legion tried to do something that I don't think is necessarily a good idea, but at least it's a interesting experiment, I guess, if you look at it that way. Like, it's not a terrible idea of, hey, we want to tell this kind of specific like thing. It's just it didn't work. Like, that's just what, like, it just didn't work.
I like this note that you put in here about the Ubisoft E3 presentation, where there's going to be an Avatar Blue Aliens game.
Yeah.
Because I would have asked for clarification, even though I know contextually most likely blue was the answer.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm very disappointed that we're getting an Avatar Blue Aliens game, because who asked for this?
Me.
Really?
It's Jackson.
Yeah, sure.
Jackson and James Cameron are out here together. They're like, hey, J&J needs a little bit more of that nice little blue Avatar. And everyone
why are they trying so hard with Avatar?
I don't know. It was a fine movie. I remember liking it a lot in theaters. I remember thinking I wouldn't enjoy it watching it at home, and I never have tried to watch it at home.
That's a good idea.
And that's I don't know, that's all that I've ever thought about the game. And then I learned that James Cameron signed a deal for 6 more of them, and I know that can't happen, right? Like, there's no way we're getting 7.
But yeah.
Originally it was 6 though.
Yeah.
Wait, so this trailer actually looks really good though for the Avatar game.
It didn't look like a bad game. I just have no personal interest in it.
You can be blue.
That's true. You can be blue. Babadee, babadai.
So how much you want to bet we get no Elder Scrolls 6 stuff? Like, obviously, our predictions of what's happening right now will be proven true or false in 4 days when this episode comes out. But
oh yeah,
any Elder Scrolls 6 info? Do you think?
I would not be surprised if we got another little teaser for it.
Because I mean, last time the only teaser we got was the title, or not the title even. It was just the fact that they are finally admitting to working on it. Which I remember.
I'm more excited
for
their
them making the
space
promise
game.
that they would not talk about it until it was almost ready to release. And then they realized that was stupid because they were going to lose way too much interest in it. So they had to talk quicker about it.
Yeah. I feel like they don't actually have to talk about it. People who like the Elder Scrolls like the Elder Scrolls, and it doesn't really matter what happens. They're going to buy. It's like people who bought Fallout 76. It still sold like millions of copies because people were like,
holy
it's
shit,
really
Fallout.
bad. Yeah, no, I bought it on 3 platforms.
I was really hoping it would be better on one of the other ones.
I heard it didn't quite pull a No Man's Sky level of turnaround, but I heard it got 1,000 times. Like, it's actually pretty solid to play right now.
I mean, I heard that too, but I will not play a subscription-based game. I don't
think it is anymore. I thought it was a one-time buy.
It used to be subscription.
I support companies that realize that subscription-based is stupid and adjust accordingly. Like, I'm fine with that. Because that tells me personally is that it's a corporate meddling type situation. You know what I mean?
I mean, regardless, it's going to be corporate meddling. It's like, oh, what do you mean? No one's buying our game anymore. Well, yeah, they don't want to play subscriptions for it. Well, then take away the subscription, make them buy the game, and kill them with in-game currency.
Yeah.
So
basically.
You know, you can choose your devil one way or another. I would prefer in-game currency where I have the option to not buy it. Oh, shit, in-game currency. That reminds me. I need to sell y'all on Knockout City. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, no, you can get Northern Lion merchant, so I'm already on board.
In Knockout City?
Yeah.
That's awesome. But no, it's such a good game. It's just dodgeball.
Yeah.
But
Remember that time on the podcast when I talked about how I wanted to make how I wanted there to be a dodgeball fighting game like forever ago?
yeah.
Mhm. Somebody listened to the podcast and made that.
It's kind of partially there. No, it's not fully. Like I was talking more like a traditional fighter, but like it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I know
Yeah,
nothing about it. I saw you playing it the other day. That's literally all I know about it.
It's very worth your time and your money. It's super, super easy. It's a super easy learning curve, but also you can perform at a higher level once you get used to it.
Fair enough.
Very worth your time.
I might have to go look into that.
Can I play it with you if I don't want to use a computer?
Yeah. It's
Okay, cool.
everyone automatically locks on. It's like you don't have to aim anything. It's just like lock on to a certain enemy.
Well, yeah, no.
So-
Like, can I? It's the cross-platform.
Well, no, that's all I was saying is like cross-platform doesn't give you a boost one way or another like other cross-platform situations could.
I feel like that's something that like PC gamers only tell themselves, but maybe.
Well, I mean-
I think that there's an aspect of it depending on what game you're playing. Like, it literally comes down to the game. I feel like a lot of games now.
Sometimes.
If it's a game that has some heavy aimbotting to help out for controlling, then you know it's a pretty bad time. Like every time we play GTA or Red Dead with Brian and he plays it with a controller, so he can shoot us a lot more effectively because he tracks onto us a little bit better versus when we're playing with a mouse and keyboard. You know, you can
Oh, I've always heard the opposite. Like keyboard people being like, "Yeah, no, it makes it so I'm way better than people with a controller would be."
Oh, you
Like,
are, as long as there's no aimbot.
exactly.
as
If
long as
there's
it
no
has
and
aimbot,
also
you're
only
better.
at a certain level of play. Like,
True.
are you like some kind of like prodigy, or are you like if we're all in like silver, it doesn't really matter that much.
That's
Mhm.
fair.
Because if you were good enough that it really like you were the keyboard and mouse prodigy, you probably wouldn't be in silver.
That's very true.
You're just clicking, brother.
I mean, to be fair, all games are just. I mean, all first-person shooters are just clicking,
Well, no, that's exactly You're just clicking. You're not,
not doing anything. You just click.
Yeah, if you're like a supreme level of play, yeah, I can definitely imagine like probably in like competitive, I don't know, game that it matters in, it probably matters. But
hmm
I think for just like your casual having fun, it's not a big deal unless there is like aim assist, in which case it can actually be way better for people who are using a controller.
Exactly, and I think that's what it comes down to. It literally just comes down to how much, if any, aim assist are we dealing with.
Mhm.
Because some aim assist I'm fine with, and other aim assist I'm like, Jesus, wow, cool, good to know that they just have an aimbot that the game is programmed in. I think both are equally frustrating in various ways.
Mhm. I would
Because
agree.
like obviously nobody wants to play with a bunch of PC players if you're playing on a controller and there's nothing, like, you know what I mean, like, because you are just going to be outclassed. Like, it's just like controllers are better for vehicle movement by a lot, but PCs are just better for aiming. You have more fine-tuned control. I've
Mhm.
always wanted to get. I've seen them out there where you can get like it's essentially a just one half of a controller, like essentially for your left hand, and use that as your movement system and still use the mouse to aim, which I think is such a neat idea. It would take so much work to get used to and get to the point where like it was worth making the shift, but I always thought it would be really cool.
Mm-hmm. See, I just want to get a decent controller because the Steam controller, for as fun as it can be for some things, is actually just like dead useless in many other situations, and that bums
Really?
me out a lot. I hate the touchpads a lot more than I thought I would.
Do you use them do you just use them as, you should just be using them as the as joysticks.
Yes, thank you. I am.
I'm confused. Like, I don't know. To me, it feels a lot nicer. Like, I prefer.
I don't like that I
immensely.
have to turn a character. I have to keep thumbing across it. I can't. It
You
doesn't.
don't.
Yeah, I do. Every time I've ever tried to use it, it does not work as a joystick. It works as a like touchpad.
As a touchpad. Yeah, you definitely need to change your settings on it then, because you definitely can set it. I have it set up as default for games as a twin stick, so it feels like you just hold your thumb on one side of the touchpad and it goes.
I would
I'm
so
also-
much like that to work.
Yeah, I mean,
but I
it
also like
definitely
physical
is.
sticks.
Yeah,
but
physical
man,
sticks
I would like it
I
to
will
just
admit
work.
are nice. Yeah, no, I totally agree. There is something much more tangible about using a physical stick. Like, I totally get that. Someday I'll probably have to get a new controller that's not a Steam controller, but for the time being,
Oh
I
shoot!
don't use
we're,
controllers for a lot of stuff.
we're well over an hour now.
Oh
I
no!
know.
Jackson's like,
sorry.
I know, I'm trying to get out of
We've
here.
been sitting here for like 15 minutes. Like, we done yet?
We were
How dare
close
we?
to an hour, and I'm like, we should run a little longer because I usually end up cutting like 8 minutes out of each episode. But this
Wow,
is,
spoilers.
I know, right? I posted about it on Twitter. People know. You know how it is.
This guy's on Twitter.
I know,
Oh,
right?
Noah's on Twitter? No, where would you be
Yeah,
on
Noah's
Twitter?
on Twitter.
On Twitter, you can find me at the Off the Air.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't know. All I want to say is remember, we got beef with Office Ladies because we're trying to get a higher average rating than them because much like Joe Rogan, who we have defeated because we chased him off, we removed him from Apple Podcasts ourselves. We did that. Remember.
You're welcome. You're welcome, America.
But much like Joe Rogan, they also have a 4.8 average. And I think we could get up to a 4.9 if we get in a few more 5-star reviews. So head over to Apple Podcasts.
You sound so conspiratorial. I think we could make some kind of arrangement. Know what I'm saying?
I just wish I knew who gave us a 1-star review, not because I'm like mad about it, but I'm legitimately curious because I want to know who it is. I'm just curious.
I'm hurt and offended about it, actually.
A mood.
If you gave us a 1-star review, you're not my friend.
I don't know. Just talk to me about it. I'm curious. I'm very interested in knowing why you did that to us.
Wait, who did that?
I don't know. I want to know.
Wait, when was it though?
Oh, it was ages ago.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't get it.
To be fair, our early episodes, listening, like I started listening to podcasts again because I walked to work again. Our early episodes, we've gotten better. Let me just say that we've just gotten.
We've gotten a lot better. Both quality and content has improved. Not from Juggalo Home Improvement. Like
No,
that
Juggalo Home
concept is still our
literally-
best concept we've ever had.
Well, I don't know. Bigfoot
The
Bigger Ally is
only
pretty
better
fucking
thing
good.
than Juggalo Home Improvement is the idea of bundling Juggalo Home Improvement into a greater off-the-air TV network.
I very much enjoyed Bigfoot Bigger Ally.
Bigfoot Bigger, so good. But anyway, yeah, you guys know what to do. Give us that review. Bump us up above 4.8 if you would be so kind.
don't.
Or don't. But please do.
But please do.
Tell your friends.